In the last video, I limited myself to 2 colours and 2 stencils, but I thought that I would take it a stage further. Today, I'm taking those backgrounds, both tissue and copy paper versions, and giving them one final dramatic layer to really make them pop. Hi, I'm JoanieB, inviting you to relax, play and make beautiful jelly print art with me. For this final layer, I'm bringing in the heavy hitter, Payne's Grey. It's such a fantastic deep colour that acts almost like black, but much, much softer. I'm rolling the paint out fairly thinly, and then I'm going to place this bold graphic stencil right on top. Now I'm taking one of the tissue papers that I made last time. Because the tissue is so delicate, you can really get into those fine details. I've given this a firm rub with my hands. I want the stencil pattern to be crisp and sharp against that colourful background. And just look at that contrast. That dark grey instantly pushes the background colours back and brings structure to the whole piece. Here I'm using a baby white, because when I lift this stencil, I want the remaining paint on the plate to be clean for my ghost print. Okay, so now the stencil's off, and just look at the texture that's left behind. So I'm going to grab another sheet of tissue paper to pick up this ghost print. This one is always softer, more grungy, and it really is often my very, very favourite. So here we have the crisp first pull and the softer ghost print, two completely different looks from just one application of paint. For the time being, I'm going to stick with the tissue paper. So again, I roll out a thin layer of the Payne's Grey, choose a really nice bold background that I've made previously, and use the same graphic looking stencil. There we have quite a complex pattern, which I'm really pleased with. I'm going to rub the paint off the top of the stencil and then use this as my next ghost print. So here we have another set of backgrounds that have been improved by the use of a very bold stencil and some Payne's Grey. And to see what I do with them, then carry on watching the video and all will be revealed. Now let's see how this behaves on our standard copy paper backgrounds. I'm going to use the same process. I'm using Payne's Grey, the same stencil, but this time the copy paper is thicker, so you might need to give it a little bit of a harder press to make sure you get good contact with the plate. There you go. And now let's put some tissue paper on top just to get rid of the excess paint on the top of the stencil. And now it's time to really go after that lovely ghost print. And here it is, quite faint, delicate, and when you look at it next to the first pull, it's completely different. So let's look at the full collection. I used the same stencil, and I started out with simple backgrounds that I made in the last video. I've just added one dark layer using Payne's Grey, and look how much depth I now have. I'm so pleased with those crisp graphic prints and those fabulously distressed ghost prints. I couldn't be more pleased with how these textured papers have turned out. And finally, here's what I did with the textured papers. As you can see, I've also used the roll-off sheets to add to the collage. What I'm trying to do is to give you some ideas of what to do with your textured papers once you've made them. Here I have a couple of pages of grid art, and I'm really pleased with how they look. I was also able to make these lovely colourful tags, so I hope this short video has encouraged you to add that one bold dark layer to your prints. I feel that it makes such a difference. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I look forward to showing you more tips and tricks next time. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.